ambassador for the rest of. Hey, how you doing? Thrillamanjaro.
Great. How's it going?
Yeah, yeah, good, great to reconnect, man. So, so
Welcome to the dumpster fire.
yes,
Thanks.
so you must have some question for us, right?
Uh, I didn't have a
No.
particular question. I mean, you invited me on. I figured you had a question for me.
I mean, I have a question.
Sure, let's hear it.
It's pretty much for all of us.
Okay.
Why?
Are you
Why?
drinking vodka, Jeremy,
Why?
straight from the
No,
bottle?
he means why did you make me think that I was going to be a prince of like alien life forms or something?
Yeah, what was going on there?
I mean, I know why
Oh.
we did that because it was funny.
It was fun.
I mean, there's two answers. I mean, the sort of unfunny answer is that we were both two latchkey kids with active imaginations and just trying to make it through living life in this desert that is southeastern, Tennessee and Virginia. The sexy answer is that I wasn't really saying any of it. I was just a conduit for a greater presence that was trying to connect to Jeremy.
and
And I leave it for the audience to decide which is the true and which is the false.
I believe this the latter. Jeremy, you are special.
it's really eerie how much his voice sounds like Gregor's over a microphone.
Sound anything you like?
Uh, so what is this bullshit about Leonardo the Ninja Turtle that I stole from you or something? I thought it was.
I might have been misremembering it, but I thought one of our first interactions was as children in the Mary Hughes playground. I gave you a Ninja Turtle and you tossed it, yeeted it even, over the fence and into the field, never to be seen again.
Oh man. Well,
Why did
Which
you do that?
which build was it?
Why did you do that, Jeremy?
Oh, it's original. This
I
is
thought it
first
was-
gen.
I thought it was a supernatural, one of those action figures with the glowing things on its chest, a glow in the dark, holographic thing on its chest. I thought that, and I threw it in the gym, is what I thought. Did I throw
Hey.
another one?
Uh,
Did I throw two?
I feel like there might have been a pattern emerging, but that's the only one I remember was the Leonardo. But maybe I have other, deeper memories locked away of my property that you have destroyed that will slowly come to pass. Slowly come back to the fore as
Well,
we
if it
work
makes
through
you
our
feel any
trauma.
better, I destroy my property all the time. So
That's what I'm hearing. This whole podcast, you've been talking about, selling off your collection.
yeah, you want to buy any?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
Not
don't
a-
buy any.
not much of a reader
Yeah,
these days.
you-
Or
Oh no, I read all the time. Just I don't
still,
know. Oh yeah, of course.
um, did are you still fond of the Harry Harrison stainless steel rat series?
Yeah, I would say though of Harry Harrison's work, my favorite series is always going to be Death World, the Death World trilogy, because I think that those took sort of the core idea that is the stainless steel rat and Bill the Galactic Hero and made them into a much tighter kind of compact story.
So
What is it called? Death Dealer?
Death World.
Death World.
alternate history, right?
No, Death World was not alternate. It was pure sci-fi.
Okay. I'm thinking of Harry Turtle Dove.
Yeah, so you're thinking of Harry Turtleove. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You know-
do like historical fiction though, but mostly Bernard Cornwell.
Mhm.
I've not read him, but I have some of his stuff, I think.
He
I
does it with the most verisimilitude, like the most accuracy.
I don't know that for sure, but I know that he paints a really good picture of post-Roman and Viking Age Britain, and I guess sort of Napoleonic Britain. I haven't read enough of the Sharp series. I've mostly read sort of the Last Kingdom, the Saxon stories, and his Warlord Chronicles, which is like his version of the Arthur tale, which I think is probably his best works.
Which one is the Arthur one?
Okay, it's 3 books. It's The
Uh-huh.
Winter King,
Uh-huh.
Enemy of God, and I can't remember the third. Let me see. Get to the Excalibur. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's called the Warlord trilogy.
Oh, thank you. I might give that a whirl. All
Oh,
right,
yeah,
I already have it
they're
on my
excellent.
I already have it on my to read list. Okay. All right.
Uther. It's about the father of Arthur.
Well, yeah, it goes
Yes.
through the whole Arthur saga, essentially his take on it.
Right. And trying to tie it into some historical
Yeah,
possibility.
yeah.
Yeah. That sounds pretty good.
So in this one, Uther and Arthur were brothers instead of father and son.
No, it's still Uther is the father, and then Mordred is Arthur's nephew rather than his son.
And he does. He is fairly now. We've established by now that King Arthur did not actually happen. He was a conglomerate. He was a collection of different myths kind of meshed together, right?
Well, the thing is with that is that our actual historical records of that time are almost non-existent. Like you have Bede and stuff like that, but you can't really take those at face value because even then, Bede was just sort of retelling fables and stories he had heard passed down in Wales going back hundreds of years. The post-Roman era in Britain is almost entirely archaeological to us now. We have no real written record for it. So the Arthur, the historical accuracy of Arthur, we'll never know for sure, but probably not. I mean, there's a lot of like, was he, a leftover Roman general? I know that's one that's kind of been floated around for a lot.
Right.
But I don't think we'll ever know for sure. I think it's sexier, and I know it's sort of a national fable for Britain now. So I think it's cool to just believe in it, but I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it ever really will be proven one way or the other.
I'm not sure if it was Marion Zimmer Bradley or someone else, or maybe it was even Cornwell. I don't know, but someone wrote a novel or two about Uther Pendragon being young Orestes grown up after the fall of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
After he was exiled by the barbarians, Stilicho, or not Stilicho, Odovaker.
I do not know.
Doesn't ring a bell, huh? Okay.
So, are there any actual good King Arthur films aside from, say, Excalibur?
Well, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't either.
Anyway, are you? Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know of any that what I would call as like historically as accurate. There's a lot.
I'm just
that
saying
are really,
good.
Oh,
I'm just
good.
saying like entertaining Arthur movies aside from Excalibur.
I can't think of any.
Yeah, I don't think they're. I think that they don't seem to be doing a very good job of it.
I've heard that the one with Guy Ritchie was not that great.
I mean, it's just
No.
it's just another Guy Ritchie film. It's just
Yeah.
they're all wearing medieval costume. They still talk like Guy Ritchie characters. It's the
Right.
same boring formula of a bunch of dirt poor, angry, very fast talking hoodlums.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will say the worst King Arthur film of all time. I believe it. The guy who played Aquaman. What's his name again?
The guy that played Aquaman.
What's his
he was
name?
in- He was in King Arthur movie.
Jason
though,
Momoa.
Jason
Yeah,
Momoa.
Jason Momoa. Yeah, I can't remember. Did he play King Arthur?
He played
He played
Conan.
Conan.
No. Okay. The King Arthur movie from a few years ago, where basically he goes to Shadow Island to train for 2 years, and it shows him killing a giant rat, and then it kind of just fast forward to now he can wield a sword.
That's the Guy Ritchie one.
Yeah, that one really sucked. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we just established. Keep
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm backing you up. I'm reinforcing it.
Oh, good.
Very good. Thank you.
That's what I needed.
I told you they sounded alike. Anyway. Okay.
So yes, that wasn't very good. It's unfortunate because it had potential. No, but it was not good. I don't understand why they can't make it. I don't understand why they can't make a good Arthur film. There's so much great material there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they
it's just
tried to make Merlin the main character, and I thought that miniseries sucked ass.
Ironically, there is a movie that claims the Bernard Cornwell trilogy as an influence. It was the 2004 one with let's see, Mads Mikkelsen, Keira Knightley, and Clive Owen as the titular character. I've
Oh
never seen
yeah,
it. I don't know if it was any good, but I've heard it wasn't. So I figured I don't
yeah.
want it stained. Perception of the book stained by a bad film. So I'm just going to stay away.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think I'll see that. It doesn't sound like it's any good.
As far as Mads Mikkelsen, I really liked his Hannibal better than the one from the Silence of the Lambs movie canon, and Hannibal, where he feeds Ray Liotta part of his own brain. I liked the Mads Mikkelsen Hannibal, so it's like that's the most like edgy, graphic version of Hannibal. Or version of any TV show that NBC has ever done. Like it's like they actually, pushed the envelope. NBC actually tried to push the envelope with a series.
That was on NBC.
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't think it was.
I
Yeah.
thought it was like HBO.
It was not HBO.
No, it's like might have been AMC or something.
No, it was NBC. That's what makes it such an anomaly because and it was so much such richer subject matter because it added some dynamics to Will Graham, the Will Graham and Hannibal's relationship and understanding of one another. It added several layers to it, so it's like almost they were an intellectual, companions. I don't know how to explain it. Like Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty. Constantly wanting up against each other or trying to understand each other's, approach.
Wasn't
Does anyone know who I mean?
are you talking about that detective in Hannibal that in the movie like gets killed?
Yeah.
It was on
Is that
NBC.
what they-
I'm surprised.
Is that what they like Hannibal's? I mean, wasn't Hannibal's enemy in the movie that sick fuck with the deformed face in the
With the
wheelchair?
pigs that feeds people, to his pigs, yeah.
Come out of check.
Oh my God, that's the face of nightmares. But yeah, he was brutalized and butchered by Hannibal because of his vulgarity, his unbecoming, social just.
Yeah,
just
like
social
the
variety.
whole thing was like he tried to seduce Hannibal, I suppose, and Hannibal gave him I can't remember what it was, poppers or something like that, and in the midst of his I guess of how high he was, he convinced him to cut his own face off and feed it to his dogs.
Yes.
And then he tried to snap his neck, but it didn't actually kill him.
That's why he was paralyzed. Yeah. So yeah,
you can really tell that Thomas Harris was really trying to make the most repulsive villain that he possibly could with that guy.
But see, I think the Manhunter or the Tooth Fairy in Red Dragon was actually way more disturbing.
Well, yeah, he was he was like a mentally ill guy. The guy in
Hannibal was not.
in Hannibal he was a little too. He was pretty over the top. Like the fact, he basically did everything. Like the fact he raped his own sister, he raped kids, shit like that.
What is that? What is that noise?
That
Is
is
that
Zach, stop fucking your dog.
I'm playing Temple Run.
Well, don't. We're trying to have
You're
a
fucking your
conversation.
dog.
Some high-level gaslighting going on here, boys.
Yeah.
I am playing Temple
Yes.
Run and drinking Mick Ultra.
What is that noise though? It sounds like a rabbit screaming.
I could be my heater. I have a heater on because it's cold down here.
Huh. Man, Man, the
What
novelty
the dog
on this
doing?
one, the novelty on the return show is worn off quick. We
Yes.
need new blood, Thrill, to keep this alive. Yeah. So
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
but-
do whatever I can.
talk more.
By new blood, we need Jeremy to cut himself on camera because that'll make this exciting.
What is that? Does
Zach, stop fucking your dog.
do you have a rabbit or something? Does somebody have a rabbit?
Do I have a rabbit?
Yes.
Why would I have a rabbit?
Do you
Well,
have a
because
rabbit?
it sounds like a rabbit screaming.
Do you have a
Yeah,
rabbit?
it sounds like you're fucking it in the ass.
Okay, so here's another one that's going on my year-end list, The Horror by David Sodergren, about these holdouts in Scotland, in a fishing village that is quickly being overtaken by a land developer there, who has taken steps to intimidate these people out of their homes. Even set houses on fire. Whatever it takes to get these people out of there, like the developers at the beginning of the Goonies say, but it's in Scotland.
It sounds like the plot of a Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah, well, but the main character Muriel,
Yeah, it's like classic melodrama.
Muriel from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
no, there are
yeah,
other
I love
there,
Courage.
there are other characters named Muriel. Jesus,
I don't believe it.
and her and her neighbor are like the last holdouts who haven't taken bribery or been scared out of their homes.
Is her
And
neighbor's name
they-
Eustace?
no, so anyway, they take a stand against this guy, and she happens upon this mysterious being on the beach that
Is the being called the Horror?
helps her out against some of these people encroaching on her land without giving away any more than that. And she basically keeps it in her bathtub when it's not being fed. And can't say
Kind of
more.
sounds like Shape of Water.
But yeah, maybe. But it also deals with loss. Her husband, who died several years before, and how it can take on his form when it's been fed properly. You can really feel her desperation as
Okay, now I hear the high pitch thing.
Okay, so it's been there.
Zach, you only hear it because you started fucking your dog again. Stop doing that.
No, I'm sitting
That's-
here watching a Christmas tree video, drinking a Mick Ultra.
Why are you watching Christmas videos, loser?
It's like a Christmas ambience video. It relaxes me. I mean, my setup's pretty cozy. I mean, I aim for the cozy.
Here's another one, Crimson Falls by Edward J. McFadden III. What I liked about this one was that it was
His
not
name is a
about.
mouthful.
Yeah. Well, what I liked about this one was that it was not from the perspective of a written by a character that's a novelist in his own book. I hate it when authors do that. This guy is a tour guide, so there's actually a purpose for him to be in the path of this creature that resurfaces every few decades. I think every 60 years. And it's a giant scorpion basically that runs around underwater. And he kind of puts together this team of like a seismologist, a geologist, and whatnot, and someone from the historical archives, and they basically are trying to find the lead of what one of them photographed of what looked like a giant scorpion tail. And what is with the fucking rabbit noise?
Zach, stop fucking your dog.
It
Maybe
is.
Zach's watching some more of that video of that dude.
And now nobody's watching, so I blew it this time, boys. Okay, so
So what's the next book?
Yeah, only
If I
this
wasn't-
time.
Wait, why are you all saying I'm the one doing the high pitch thing?
if I wasn't so high, I'd be able to do these books justice, but I'm too high to do these books justice. So I throw in the towel on that. Thrill.
Do you advertise this show on like message boards for books and you know, the books for like this kind of genres and stuff. Like, what do you do to like get the word out to bring in viewers? Not to kind of
Nothing
put you on the
anymore
spot.
because you know, authors are so you know, pro cancel culture and you know, sullying people's reputations if you don't fall in line with their you know, echo chamber.
So
That
you're like
that
the gorilla. You're like the gorilla podcast. You,
yeah, I
Who
guess.
is a gorilla?
See,
under
when you
gorilla.
don't. The thing is, when you don't
The
kiss
under
authors'
gorilla.
gorillas in the
asses,
midst.
when you
Yeah.
don't when you don't kiss the asses of authors, you know, from week to week,
Yeah.
you know, and you give you know you give honest appraisals of their work, whether you liked it or not.
It's a really roundabout way of people saying nobody likes us.
Oh, we
Here-
knew
here.
that.
I've got to go in on this one too while I'm at it, because this is the worst book I've read since the Well-Dressed Wound, the man whose wife was the moon. This is one of the worst books I've read since the Well-Dressed Wound. It's exactly what it sounds like, only this guy goes around to schools giving lectures about how his wife is the moon, and he shows a nude pictures of his wife mixed in with topographical pictures of the moon taken from satellites, and he gets arrested for showing nude pictures of his wife to school kids who just think it's funny, and interspersed between shots of the moon. It's so stupid.
Huh,
And
that's
Okay,
weird.
so I have a question. Why
I
would
took
you
one
even
look at this and I
read
thought this must be
book?
some pedo
Because
code or
I
something,
didn't
right?
know-
And you
because
tell
I
me
didn't-
this plot of it, and it's just like,
It looks horrible.
yeah.
It
I mean,
is.
his other books are good.
I thought that there was some, like, you know, navel gazing metaphorical justification for having a title like that. No, but it's written to be literal.
I've not heard of this, but that cover, man, it's great.
And the duck whistling noise or whatever it is stopped being funny like sometime back. I would
Okay,
rather
so
an hour of Acer Thorn, you know.
first
gobbling
off,
like
you all
turkey.
are saying it's a rabbit noise. Then you're saying it's a duck noise.
I'm not.
No, it's
yeah.
you fucking your dog, Zach.
No. Why do you all think it's me?
Because you're
you're
the
an
only one
asshole.
that fucks your dog.
No.
And because it's because you fuck your dog. I mean, it might be Gregor fucking his dog, but you know.
I don't do that anymore.
I just don't know how
No,
you turn a low pitched whistling into fucking your dog. Is it like some kind of like mental connection to it? You're like telepathically mind raping your dog, and it comes out like like scanners, where it's like. Beep!
He's holding the dog's mouth shut so it doesn't cry loudly.
Yeah, he's
Mother-
fucking this dog. You're just holding its head, right?
I'm sitting here drinking a Mick Ultra.
I don't see how you can drink that.
Okay,
It is pretty bad. It's awful. But the thing
can you
is,
taste
it's
some
low in
nuttiness?
calories.
Back end, is it have nutty notes to it? Are there notes of nuttiness?
Yeah, Jeremy likes to know.
Yeah, it's got some notes of D's nuts.
You don't need to
Got
give
'em.
the kid encouragement.
My name is D's.
Oh God, he's going
I'm
to keep
told.
doing it. You all go on about my supposed
These who?
my sound.
These
but then he
nuts.
does that.
God, that's fresh. What are we doing, boys?
Oh, look, there's a little like moon guy who's got hands. That's cute.
That's
Yeah,
not cute.
this.
He's a funny little guy with a
Let's see
moon
if
with
this guy's
hands.
written anything else, because I'm trying to.
Yeah, I
understand.
actually like his other books.
Oh my
What is
gosh,
he
it's
written?
Freddy Krueger.
Strung Balls. The guy who wrote Strung Balls wrote something as bad as this. Strung Balls.
Why is he wearing a Freddy Krueger?
Oh yeah, Strong Balls was good.
Why would he write something as horrible as Ben?
Why
You've
would
read
he
the
wear that
exploding.
sweater?
You've read the Exploding book, Ben.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I like
Why would
Strong
he write-
Balls.
Why would he write something as horrible as?
I might have to take a step back and read it.
Send him an email.
No.
Ask him. Tell him to come on and explain himself.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
think he's going
Like,
to come on after Jeremy has like trashed his book. He might
I-
be cool though.
I mean,
I have-
Derek McCormick came on after he trashed the Well-Dressed Wound.
Yeah, he was the only person I've ever given a bad review to who came on and was a good sport about it.
But you like strung balls,
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Okay,
He likes all
Yeah,
kinds
that's
of
good.
balls.
It's not me doing
But
it.
I don't
I
know about
keep
that,
hearing
Zach.
it.
Okay, speak at the same time it's happening then, Zach.
Next time it happens, I will speak.
Ben, what do you think?
Lick my balls.
Okay, I heard a dog that time.
It is.
That was someone. Yeah, that was
Now
someone.
your dog is fucking
barking in
you.
the hallway.
Now your dog is fucking you, right?
I'm
Yeah,
sitting
Zach,
here drinking a Mickle.
Yeah, Zach. The dog is like knotted up in your asshole.
Jesus.
See, I will prove that it's not. See,
Uh-oh.
no dog.
You're not showing your lap. We know the dog is in your lap getting fucked.
Was it like in was that Paul Nook choke where he puts the girl in his lap and he has her spin around?
Yeah, we lost all viewers before Thrill got here.
Well, yeah, because I was the only viewer. He brought me on the show.
I swear we're usually better than this. It's my fault.
I want everyone to note that Zach is not showing his lap where his dick is clearly inside his dog.
If I had taken OxyContin instead of smoked marijuana, I would be more entertaining right now.
Well, just do better next
Are
time.
you ever
Yeah, do better
entertaining?
next time.
though?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Try harder.
Okay. Maybe if I drink, then I'll be entertaining, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You guys do something while I go off for a while and find my groove. Okay. You talk amongst yourselves.
Oh,
How
Yeah,
Jeremy
take the
got his
camera
groove
with you.
back.
yeah, take the camera with you.
Well, that ain't gonna work.
So what is everybody reading right now?
I am reading Confederacy of Dunces.
Oh, I like that book.
Yeah, it's one
Yeah,
of
that's
those
a good
books
book.
I've like started and stopped like a million times, and now I'm finally just gonna read it.
I find it entertaining. It's been a while
Yeah.
since I've read it.
I'm also reading Protestants by I don't even remember the dude's name, which is just the history of Protestantism. The other book I'm reading, what is it? The Unseen Realm by Michael Heiser.
And what's that?
It's kind of like a spurg out book where so it is very academic and it is he's knowledgeable about ancient Hebrew, but he's talking about the Nephilim, demons, and angels.
Okay.
And there's some iffy stuff with it, especially in terms of doctrine that I don't like. But it's interesting to read about. It's one of those things that like it's fun. It doesn't really affect doctrine, but everyone who gets into it, it's like they make it their thing. And so for what it is, it's okay, but I don't really put much stock in it.
What was that about
see.
Bigfoot showing up in East Tennessee the other day that you linked?
Oh yeah, there was a very, very good Bigfoot video from somewhere close to Nashville. I actually looked it up on Google Maps. It's like Silver Spring or something like that. Just a really good video, Bigfoot video someone caught close to Nashville. So not necessarily in our neck of the woods, but in our state at least.
Okay.
Aren't book like isn't like the Bigfoot like an interdimensional being or something like that?
I
what they
put
say?
forth that he is a
Of
demon.
course, it's very.
Why can't
I
he just be a primate who's good at camouflage?
He could be. I mean, I also believe that dragons probably exist or existed. So
Yeah, I'm sure they still
Okay.
exist
they're
somewhere.
called crocodiles.
Yeah. No, I think they probably exist somewhere. Not on Earth.
So Bigfoot, I mean, I know credible people who claim to have seen Bigfoot. So it could be actually be an ape. I mean, I'm not against the idea. Stranger things have happened in the world.
Hey, anybody want to bid on my eBay listings to drive the price up?
No.
Okay, so this
No.
is why we're losing viewers. You get off your dang books. No one's going to buy them.
Yes.
So I've been reading. Are any of you familiar with Mara Saad, the Shakespeare production of the the persecution and assassination of Jean Paul Marat, as performed by the inmates of the asylum of Charlton under the direction of the Marquis de Sade? It's a
I think
Hey, I
play
just realized
by.
that your profile picture is Jeremy when he watches Spider-Man.
Let them in. Let them in.
I think that Ben has read that book.
Yeah, it's a play by Peter Weiss, which is a a West German kind of guy, and it's about the Marquis de Sade sort of retelling the failure of the French Revolution, politically, socially, but he's doing it as an inmate in an asylum after the revolution's already failed. And it's the Napoleonic time, so he's having to kind of skirt around, the implications, of the time he's in, because the leader of the director of the asylum is constantly sort of censoring and having him omit parts from the book while he's performing it. So I think it's a really interesting play, and the movie's better, which is just the
Quills.
movie is essentially just a filming of the Shakespeare Company production of it.
Huh. You've read that, right, Ben?
It's been on my radar, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
It's not long. It's like 100 pages maybe, with the songs 110.
I mean, that sounds interesting to me. I might give that a whirl.
I kind of just stay away from everything Mark de Sade.
Well, I mean, you don't really get any of his like sexual peccadillos showing up. It just kind of he is the voice for, say, uh, a cynical nature, and that he kind of just pokes at Mara, telling about how the revolution never was going to succeed because of human nature, because of people's selfishness and inability to kind of work past their own needs to work towards a greater whole.
Yeah. Wait, so I'm kind of confused. Were you saying it's written by him, or it's like
He's a character in it.
Yeah, he's a
right?
character.
Okay.
It's a character. He's performing a play in the universe that he has written in the asylum.
Okay, so it makes sense why I was confused for a second.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get you. It's a bit of an untangle, but it's really good.
So what are you reading right now, Jeremy?
Camp Ghoul Mountain Part 6.
What is that?
Netherkind. Brian's
Netherkind.
birthday bloodbath.
Well, don't just give us a bullet point list. Go over each one. Why are you reading it? What attracted you to the first one? Why?
Jeremy's like a sponge on the seafloor. It's like anything that's particularly
Exactly.
He is the catfish of the literary world. He just sucks up all the detritus.
Detritus, yeah, good word.
And he's trying to sell it now.
I'm trying to think of the one I'm furthest in, so I can actually say
what's Netherkin about?
Oh, okay. About this guy who consumes flesh, and I mean, it's not really anything all that special. I'm just a completist when it comes to collecting fiction, and so if it's been written, I kind of wish I already owned it. But Netherkind or Netherkind is by Greg Chapman, and it's about this guy who thinks that he's like the only monster that was ever born, and then he comes upon all these little sub cultures of monsterdom. I guess like a more like modern, like a more like present year Nightbreed types, deal.
Right.
It's only just passably interesting.
What was the first book you mentioned? What was it called? Something like
Ghoul Camp 6 or something?
Camp Ghoul Mountain Part 6.
Camp
Because
Ghoul
5
Mountain.
just wasn't enough. They hadn't told the whole story of Camp Ghoul Mountain.
It drops you right into Part 6, and it doesn't have it.
Is it Japanese?
No previous volume? No.
It's not Japanese. It's not anime, or
right?
Like manga or whatever.
I'm trying to think.
Camp
There were
Ghoul
several-
Mountain.
There were several books I wanted to talk about, but I just can't do them justice right now because I'm outside of my body right now.
So, did you really like the first 5 in the series?
Me without it, no, there are no other
Oh,
previous volumes. That's what part of what makes the title so charming. You know, to be
Oh, I
just
see.
dropped
Okay.
in the middle of this.
the VHS
Okay, so I have a
slasher era.
suggestion.
Okay.
I know what will help you get into your A game, Jeremy.
Mm.
Go take a shower and wash your hair, and then come back, and you'll be sobered up.
Doesn't have anything to do with anything.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think you would be surprised, Jeremy.
You're just
Showers
jealous
do
of
a
my
lot
hair.
for you.
Okay. I know. This is definitely if Nightland Racer was my number one of the year, this one is definitely going to be number 2. Stonefish. Anybody heard of Stonefish by Scott Earl Jones?
Yeah, you told me about it.
Okay. I just can't do any book reviews justice right now. I'm sorry.
But you recommend Stonefish?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'll
What
be right back.
genre would you peg it in?
Sci-fi. Let me
What's
go
the
grab
name
some
of the main
alcohol.
character?
Let me go grab some alcohol.
Go
and
grab some alcohol, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I can save.
Yeah.
Maybe I can still save this.
Yeah.
In the
Maybe a
meantime,
cup of coffee or something?
Wait, let's do a drinking game on air.
yes, that's a good idea. Make Thrill feel at home while I grab some alcohol.
Okay. Okay. Don't turn off your camera. Take off your shirt and make gobbling noises.
Oh, gobbling noises? Did you say gobbling or gobbling?
Both.
It's you, Gregor. It's you.
It's all
I know.
you.
So
It's
what
you,
I'm
That
Gregor.
reading.
avatar is not a good avatar, Gregor. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
It's real fucking gay.
oh, I know. That's why I
Ripped
picked
straight
it.
from Furcadia, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Greg. Yeah, I know that you've had issues, but like this wanting to fuck goats, you should probably like get help for that.
No, it's not. It's not even true.
It is true. I mean,
I
that's what
just
the
wrote
whining
one
noise.
story about it.
That's what the winning noise about it is. It's because you're sitting there fucking a goat.
No, I mean, if it was, I'd tell you. I mean, I wouldn't lie about it.
There it is. You're fucking the goat now.
No, it wasn't me. I mean, I'm not making these weird noises.
Yes,
That's
it
been
is.
going on.
It's you. It's
But
you.
I'm reading "Music Is Over" by Ben Arzate.
Who is that faggot?
Yeah, some loser.
Jesus.
I don't know.
He is.
Sounds like an asshole.
It's pretty racy. It's a pretty racy book
In what way?
in a sexual manner.
Ah,
Sexual. It's very sexual.
like as in graphic or taboo?
Graphic, not necessarily taboo in this day and age.
Ah,
Hey, Jeremy, do you not own a Tumblr?
No.
Why?
Oh, you
But
can
it's
post
really
these
only
on
one
Tumblr
scene.
again.
oh,
I've
he
read
posts
so-
on Tumblr. He doesn't own one.
But it's not, there's like one scene thus far. There might be more scenes. I'm only about halfway through it.
What do you think of it so far?
Oh, I like it. Yeah, I like
Oh.
everything that like it's good. It's good.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it.
I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I like the general premise, well, I don't know who. There's like the main character is somebody that's an actual real life human that disappeared, right? Or is that made up as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah. Juntaro Yamanouchi, who was the head of the noise band, the Garo Gary Gay Gay Gay. He, I don't know if he technically disappeared, but like nobody really heard from him for like close to a decade.
Did he ever reappear?
Yeah, he's appeared now, and he's been regularly putting out new stuff.
Okay, so you're writing a secret. What happened to him during
Well,
this?
I actually emailed him when the book was selected for publication, and he said he was very flattered by the idea.
Oh, that's good because it's good. It's very good. It's like I like the premise of this. What is it like? Private secret subway train they hop on.
Oh wait,
That starts out
there's
the adventure.
the
It's
voice
good.
or the sound. It's the freaking cat.
Ben, do you have anything to say about your book?
What do you have to say for yourself, buddy?
Go to malarkeybooks.com and buy it.
Why wouldn't someone just go to Amazon?
You can do that too, but
Now-
Amazon is run by evil lizard men.
Yeah, Malarkey Books, is that the one that's run by Vic Scahill?
No, that's run by a guy named Alan Good.
But I really like the
It's-
stripped down style of the book. Like that's what I like about your writing in general. It's a real nice, lean prose, very stripped down, to the point. I like it.
Thank you. Yep, there it is right there.
I guess it does it. It goes automatically. I'm not controlling this. A cryptid anthology. Wow.
Yep.
I thought that said crypto anthology.
Well,
No.
Maybe.
Well, I believe you. I know the people who run this thing. They would not want to do anything crypto related.
I've got a feeling Alex Miller is white.
Yeah. It's a horror book. It's basically about a bunch of ugly Americans who get attacked by something on vacation.
Is
What
it
are we looking at
by
here?
chance a chimpanzee?
This is
or a unicycle?
the website of Malarkey Books.
Oh, okay.
That's one of their first
Based
books
on
that
the
they put
jokes
out.
of Mitch Hedberg. Sorry.
Yeah. That was one of the first things they put out.
So
There's
this
music's
here,
over.
Yep,
I
right
still
there.
haven't gotten around to this myself, but
You'll like it, dude. It's good. At least what I've read so far. I'm about halfway through. Like it could just,
These two
be
here-
the second half could be terrible. So we have a different conversation next week, Ben.
These
If that's the
two-
case.
I've only read one by Eric Williams, the Toadstones book there, but that it's actually pretty good. It's very
That's so weird. I went to his
Lovecraft
school with a
Tales.
guy named Eric Williams, and I keep thinking that that would
It's a
be
pretty
him.
common name. You probably didn't go to school with him. He's a lot older than you. He's like a geology professor.
Pontoon. I do like Pontoon.
Thrill, did you ever try write? Did you ever finish any stories? I know you dabbled occasionally. When we were in.
I ended up writing a little bit for RPGs, so I was a freelance writer for a couple years. I had some stuff published there, but actually, like my own fiction, no, I never finished anything.
You were
So
pretty
what
good. dungeon
RPGs
master.
did you write for?
I wrote for mostly Onyx Path, so I wrote a lot of the World of Darkness stuff. I contributed to a lot of the Mortals line and a little bit of Werewolf and stuff.
Oh, very cool. I've never played that, but I do play RPGs.
I remember you were big into Changeling
Yeah.
Dreaming. For
Yeah, I loved playing that back in the day. It was really interesting. Really
What was
interesting.
that? What's that?
So Changeling the Dreaming was sort of it was a take on what if your imagination and the worlds you created there was something that actually existed, and
Mhm.
that the reason it went away was because of a force called banality in the world that wasn't just just a feeling. It was an actual force in the world that would like sap away creativity and life from everything.
It's kind of like never-ending story and then nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's probably the primary inspiration for it, was that.
I see. Okay. Huh.
yeah. So White Wolf had like for every archetype of the paranormal or the supernatural or the fantastic, they had an answer for every archetype, from Vampire the Masquerade to Changeling the Dreaming, Hunter the Reckoning, Wraith the
Oblivion,
and Mage the Ascension.
Werewolf the Apocalypse,
All
Mummy the
of-
Risen,
all of
and
the
Demon the Fallen.
backgrounds of every world
Hmm.
could have made for fascinating novels. I never got to,
I mean, they did have novel series for a lot of those games.
yeah.
Are they all written on the same mechanics? Like the gameplay is
well,
the same?
yeah, well, those ones, yes. Well, a lot of the first edition of the White Wolf games they were each tailored for their own. Now, after second edition and what we call Chronicles of Darkness, now it's a unified system where each sort of splat book, each kind of monster race, kind of just builds onto that and can be plugged in. You could play a character from one in another game. In the originals, you could do that, but it was a lot more fiddly.
Huh.
That's
So
why the old classic versus Chronicles. Yeah.
is it a dice-based game or no?
Yeah, they are dice based. Yeah,
Okay.
D10s.
Okay. So I thought for some reason it was like not dice-based, and there was like coin flipping and handing people cards and running
Okay, yeah.
around.
So what you're thinking of is Mind's Eye Theater, which is the LARP, sort of the live action version of it, which does do that.
Okay. All right. So have you done that?
No. It's not my kind of bag.
All right. But you have played the tabletop
Yes,
world extensively, it sounds like.
that's correct.
Okay.
What's going on in the Dungeons and Dragons world these days? I know Gary Gygax passed.
It's like Dungeons and Dragons Next or something is the new thing coming out, or has already come out or something.
Well, it's essentially going to be a 5.5, where Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition is the current edition, and they, rather than do a full 6th edition iteration, they're just going to sort of retool a lot of things for 5th edition, which they've already kind of done with some of the later splat books. But I think what they're going to do is just sort of a 5.5, where they just take maybe some of the core ideas of 5th edition and then tweak them. So it's not going to be a radical departure like 3rd was from 2nd or 4th was from 3rd.
Yeah. They just want to sell a bunch of books with new art in them.
Yeah, I mean, Hasbro is in control here, and they are demanding a certain level of profitability, which Dungeons and Dragons has easily surpassed because of the popularity of Critical Role. But
what's Critical Role?
So Critical Role is a live sort of how would I put it? It's a streaming channel where you have a bunch of voice actors playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they do it with a lot of, dramatic plume and stuff that is very, entertaining and enthralling for people. It's led to an Amazon series, and I know it's very popular, and it's sort of skyrocketed Dungeons and Dragons back in sort of mainstream.
Huh. I have to take a look at that. It's interesting.
Yeah, they're on Twitch and YouTube. I think you can see older episodes on YouTube. If you want to see the current game as where it is now, you have to go through their Twitch channel.
It might be a little bit better than watching some, crazy guy with his shirt off eating hot dogs and gobbling, right?
It might just be slightly more engaging than that.
Yes.
I'm gonna make a character. I'm gonna make a character sheet for this RPG, and that's gonna be, that's gonna be his.
That's gonna be his concept.
Ability. Yes, that.
I would definitely like to run a game with a guy like that in there. Yeah, like a character. Yeah.
If I roll a high dice, that's going to be a superpower.
I don't know why you're acting like you never played RPGs when I've literally played RPGs in your home.
I know that I'm not acting like I haven't.
Oh, Jeremy, you trying to be cool?
I'm actually saying.
It's like I'm going to roll a dice and get the maximum. Come on, you know the terms.
Well, I don't know the terminology per se. I haven't played in several years, but I mean, I remember you were a great dungeon master with some really imaginative campaigns.
Well, thank you.
Particularly when our mutual friend Landon was involved, and I remember there was this character that like for some reason I took it really personally when anything ever happened to her. Her name was Solstice, and like you and Landon would like trade her back and forth, as something like that you knew would like make me like.
Well, I mean, you made it you show that you were dramatically invested into it. So naturally,
I don't know why though.
I was going to use it as a way to draw you in.
Mm-hmm.
You show that you show a pressure point. You show a point of weakness. Naturally, I'm going to jab my fucking thumb in it.
I have a confession to make.
Nobody cares.
I have never played a single RPG game, and I want to.
Well,
I played RPG video games.
Bible Adventures. I hear it's quite enthralling.
I've played that. That's not an RPG.
You know what? There is a small press publisher. I hope they're still around, but they're called Boss Fight Books, and that popular culture and philosophy series that is popular that's famous in colleges. Breaking Bad in philosophy or Dexter in philosophy,
Oh yeah,
and they
just like,
Oh,
basically
yeah.
they
I know what you're talking
condense all popular culture down to, well, Schopenhauer spoke about this first, and it's referencing Schopenhauer or
I mean,
Nietzsche.
this really isn't anything new. They would do the same thing with like Shakespeare and with any kind of
Yeah.
popular fiction or literature. You would take someone like, I'll just slap on my philosophical analysis onto it. Bam! Here's the Marxist interpretation of Garbage Pail Kids. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
Well, there is a video game version of this called Boss Fight Books, and they also tie in the history of certain video games. How they were developed and what the
Video games. Who cares
were
about
aiming
video
for.
games?
Because they write books and we care about books. They write books about the video games like Silent Hill
Oh, okay,
2,
okay. All right.
Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy 6. What a Final Fantasy maniac I always was. Mega Man 3 and Mario 3 were particularly good write-ups that gave a nuanced,
Oh, Jared
history
Cobbett.
of games. Um, and what made me think of Boss Fight Books was the mention of Bible Adventures, which someone managed to. The publisher himself wrote a book about Bible Adventures, the game. Boss Fight
These,
Books is just a
well,
cool little niche publisher in the small presses. I hope they're
the-
still making new books. I don't know though.
these look
Zach,
more
you
like
should play Call of Cthulhu.
these look more
I
like
should.
those 33
Yeah.
and a third books, except for video games instead of
Yeah,
music.
exactly. 33 and a third is for music, right? It's that same concept for video games. Yeah.
I have another confession to make.
All right. Nobody cares, but go ahead.
I've
Yes,
never
sir.
played Bible Adventures.
Yes, we know.
you're a fraud.
So
You're a
what is
phony.
what?
This holding
What
call
is
Yeah,
Bible
someone should
Adventures?
find you in arms and legs off.
Is
Okay,
Bible? It's not an RPG.
No, it's like an old NES game or something like that.
It's like there's
Oh,
three
okay.
different games on it, basically. One, let's see, one is like you're playing David from David and Goliath, and you're rounding up sheep. One is you're playing Moses' mother trying to keep Egyptian guards from drowning baby Moses, and
Wow.
yeah, the let's see, what was the last one? I can't remember. Yeah, go back so I can try to. Oh yeah, Noah's Ark. You're gathering animals to put in the ark,
Wow, that's
but
pretty.
you
cool.
do not gather two of everyone. You gather like 1,000,000 fucking animals.
Look, he's like John Cena, like giving the FU finisher to like Big Show and Mark Henry at the same time. Look at all these things he's balancing on his shoulders.
He's carrying a horse, a cow, and a bull at the same time.
Yeah, boy,
Moses
they don't
is
make
fucking hardcore.
they don't make
There's Noah.
they don't
Or
make
Noah is hardcore. What the fuck?
Well, I mean, they lived a lot longer, a lot tougher back then, right?
Yeah, it is true. They did.
Yeah.
and yeah, longer and
And they had
Meaner
bigger
and tougher.
dicks.
mm-hmm.
They all look like beef jerky.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had gigantic dicks that makes
What-
their dicks look like nubs.
Thrill,
That's
I've
true.
got to
That's
know,
true.
Thrill.
You've got to know.
There,
Let's
there,
hear
are,
it.
there are certain cultural touchstones that have happened in the time that we have, not seen each other for several years.
Uh-huh.
What are your thoughts on the MCU? Nothing but a ungodly, cash grab or redeeming qualities.
I mean, it's popcorn cinema. I mean, it's just mindless entertainment, something to watch and turn your brain off to.
Yeah, but I mean, we both read comic books growing up, so I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, the kind of comics that we enjoyed were never really those mainstream ones. And it's not for me. I mean, and even the kind of comics I liked, the movies they made out of them, like the Alan Moore stuff, it was never really that good. I mean,
I thought
it's
that the
interesting.
Watchmen movie was so much better in the ending than this comic book.
Yes, I will give you that their take on the ending was better than Moore's.
Mm.
That the rather than the alien. I won't spoil it for people.
But I never thought that Thanos would ever be a live action character in a
Well,
superhero adaptation.
He shouldn't. He looked ridiculous. He looked like if someone had turned Barney the purple dinosaur into a bodybuilder. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a giant purple man wearing a gimp suit with a big glove, like a Michael Jackson power glove. It's ridiculous on his face. We put up with it because we just accept that it's the comic book universe and people are going to look ridiculous.
And he makes love to the embodiment of death. It doesn't get more metal than that. He
does.
snapped
Comics.
the universe with the snap of his fingers. He erased half the universe.
That's why I think the only comic book movies that worked are Deadpool, because it doesn't take itself seriously. It knows what it is.
I despise the Deadpool movie. I've never read the comic books.
Why?
First one's all right.
That's all I get.
The first one, I mean, it's okay. I don't really like it, but what can you do? I don't like meta stuff generally.
I know what you can do. You can go out there and make a scene.
I can go out and make a scene. Yes. That's what I have to do.
Go out in the road,
Yeah.
douse yourself in gasoline like those fucking monks in Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Turn
Make
into a
a
fucking Rage Against the Machine album cover.
make a point that the MCU is just military industrial propaganda, which it is.
Well, it is.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've literally
They
got
had-
people from the CIA
To have input on the Iron Man movies, for instance. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's MK Ultra, man. It's MK Ultra.
I'll
It's
say
like
this.
I remember people like crowing about how progressive Black Panther is, and like literally the CIA is a good guy in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, I went and saw it, and I'm crying, and it's freaking CIA stuff. It's horrible. I mean, again, people are.
And it's like, as even like a T from Champagne Sharks pointed out, like the Wakandans are always fighting like other black people, and in Wakanda Forever they're fighting like Mexicans. Why is this? They never fight white people.
This is true. Maybe the third one they will.
Yeah, the third one is like, oh, the white people are colonizers, but we never fight them.
Well, maybe it's just like that's the final boss in the arc,
Yeah.
But,
I mean, Killmonger was the good guy in the first movie.
I mean,
they tried to frame.
What was interesting, you could kind of understand where he's coming from, I guess, right? I mean,
It's like Killmonger was right. Hashtag Killmonger was right.
Yeah, I mean, that movie was pretty okay. I mean, most of them are pretty okay.
Yeah, like
but,
as a movie, it was fine, but
Yeah.
like its politics are dog shit.
I mean,
like,
some of them
but
are
all-
good, but most of them are just kind of like okay. Now they're just kind of, I don't even care to watch them anymore.
I mean, if
right?
you're going to a movie to like be your political basis, then I think you've already completely lost the plot. You shouldn't.
I mean,
go to a movie
I
to
watch
teach you
plenty of
political
movies
theory.
where I watch plenty of movies where I hate the politics of them, but I'm still gonna realize they exist within that dimension.
Yeah, and with this type of movie, you kind of have to realize like it's probably being made to push those agendas and make money. So they're they are guiding the culture in a certain
And
way.
yeah, in the
They
case
can't
where
really
you like
exist in a
literally,
vacuum.
in cases where you literally have like people from the Department of Defense on set advising them, it's hard not to look at the political aspects of them.
I mean, especially, they're just multi-million-dollar products. I mean, meant to psychologically manipulate.
Well, I would say they're multi-million-dollar products, and mostly they are marketed towards the Chinese market now, not even so much to the U.S. market anymore, because they assume people in the U.S. will watch it, but they really want to, tap into that emerging Chinese market. So that's why you'll see entire scenes refilmed with Chinese actors in mainstream Marvel films just to appeal to that market, because they know that the Chinese won't do supernatural, but they'll tolerate superheroes. So we can get them to watch these. That's why the Transformers series was so big over there, because it was this big visual feast, but it's something that the Chinese Communist Party would accept.
Yeah,
So I've only got one thing to say. Y'all keep saying I'm the one making the noises, and there was just a beat coming from Ben's thing.
It's been.
I think it's been Ben this whole time.
Oh yeah, it has been.
And y'all are,
J'accuse.
yeah.
We
But yeah,
the J'accuser.
But the Marvel movies after the Endgame stuff I mean, it was pretty much like, who cares about anything that they're putting out, really? You know, it just seems like they don't have any plan anymore. It doesn't seem like.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a machine at this point. Like they just
Yeah.
they have to hit a quota of a number of films put out in front of theaters, and
Yeah.
even if they don't like, even if they're not good films, they're probably going to be good enough to make some money, and that's what they
Right.
care
Right.
about. It's just it's probably a lot of it is a tax thing too. You know, you put out enough bad films, well, you can just write off any losses as a tax on the taxes.
Right.
Yeah, there's probably a tax write-off for having more than one
Like-
Spider-Man in a film too.
Well, I'm
Probably.
pretty sure at this point, like it is impossible for like a film not to fail, like for an
Yeah.
MCU film not to fail. It's like a Disney film. It's like the closest that any Disney film comes to failing is just because they dump it on Disney Plus and don't actually put it in theaters.
Wait, didn't they actually just make a Scooby-Doo movie for that reason? Not Disney, but like, so they made a Scooby-Doo movie and they're not releasing it to get like a tax break or something like that. I'm not sure.
I've
don't
not
know if
heard
it's due to
that.
taxes, but I know that happened with I think it was a Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's all fake, trying to get people to demand that they release it.
Hmm.
I think it's all. I think it's all a marketing
Yeah,
thing.
speaking of that,
I mean,
as bad
one
as the
thing we-
MCU is, the DCU is 1,000 times worse.
Oh yeah. It's
Directionless. The movies are mostly just pure schlock garbage.
yeah.
They're
I
all
mean, Joker
coasting
was
on
decent.
like the Christopher Nolan trilogy as like,
Right.
if people remember that, right? Remember Batman was good for a little while, right? You remember
Right.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Joker was
exactly.
decent.
Yeah, it was an interesting film, but it didn't feel like a Batman film to me, or it didn't really feel like a DCU film for me. It just felt like just a psychological thriller kind of film or something like
Taxi
that.
Driver with a clown.
I would say King of Comedy.
One thing we can look forward to in 2024 is they will finally be releasing Jerry Lewis's "The Day the Clown Cried."
Jesus.
Oh really? Is that
How
true?
about
Jerry
that?
Lewis.
How about that?
another Holocaust film?
How about that Castlevania anime though? Was that not badass?
Yeah, it's great.
As a Castlevania fan, I know you had to appreciate that, right?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
I don't know why they never got Grant in there. That was a point of contention with the fans through each season. You know, this is going to be the season that they get Grant in there. You know,
Grant?
I mean, you know that Warren Ellis
Grant the
made
thief.
it pretty clear that he never played any of the games. He didn't really care about the property. He just wrote a story based off sort of a synopsis they gave him. So
Yeah.
he didn't care. But he still made a good piece of fiction. I still thought they were great.
I actually didn't know that, but
Oh, well, I'm
it
sorry.
makes sense. That's like telling me that my favorite metal band doesn't write their own music. Yeah, it's
Speaking of your favorite metal band, did
Yeah.
you ever see that documentary of Maynard where he had that fucking vineyard?
yeah.
I
I never thought he could be so boring until I saw that.
and
Yeah,
fake, and entirely fake. Like when he
and
had like the producer or something trying to get him to sell out. He's like, "Oh no, I would never sell out my principles of my vineyard."
talking down to his fans. Yeah, we're talking about Maynard from Tool. And yeah, I had an unhealthy obsession with Maynard James Keenan from Tool in high school.
What
And
was unhealthy about it?
because he's just such a
You wanted to fuck him?
belligerent asshole, you know, to his own supporters, you know, like. And I would search for these hidden messages in his music because he would always use this tagline of "think for yourself." And it turns out that he would just turn around and make fun of anybody who searched for something deeper in his work.
Maynard
Well-
was Jeremy's helter skelter. You know,
Yeah,
he was looking for the secret messages to
I
start the
did.
race war.
Yes, I did kill several people to Tool. So
No, come on.
I'm down.
Manson
No,
never
no.
killed anyone.
All right.
Kind of reminds me of when people would say that like Ween's songs had some kind of deeper meaning, and they would always respond like, "If you think that, you're on like worse drugs than we are."
It's sort of like how
You liked Ween, didn't you?
I like
It's
Ween.
sort of like how the Beatles wrote "I Am the Walrus" as a way to make fun of people who looked for deeper meaning in their lyrics.
Thrill, didn't you like Ween?
Ween?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Ween, did you ever listen to that album, the solo album that Dean Ween put out maybe a couple of years ago?
Maybe.
I only remember
Speaking
Ween.
of Ween, Zach likes to suck weed.
I only remember Ween for Beavis and Butthead when they would watch their videos.
Okay, I need to get going. So
Yeah,
You gotta quit on a high note.
yeah, the best joke of the night. So yeah, go to whatever fucking website and buy all of my books. Buy extra ones. I don't care if you read them. Buy 1 million of them and burn them online so people will pay attention to me. All right. Peace out.
Good night.
Have a good
Good
night.
night.
Yeah,
See,
Zach,
he
you
knew
hear that?
he knew how
Hear
to.
what?
You buy his books and burn them.
So
I've read that one.
Yeah, I have too.
What were you gonna say?
speaking earlier, you were talking about sort of a taboo sexual kind of book. I recently read another one called Secret Rendezvous. Have you ever heard of it by Kobo Abe?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I think I read The
not read it,
Box
though.
Man that he's most famous for.
Yeah.
And I've got several others, including Secret Rendezvous and Kangaroo Notebook.
I read that one.
What was his? Was he kind of like a Kafka-esque? Was he Kafka-esque?
I mean, he was
Or-
definitely compared to Kafka.
Yeah.
What was his through line in his work, in his catalog, generally?
So very, surreal, very sort of nightmarish kind of reflections of modern society and things going on in it, sort of taking the world around us and looking at it through a broken lens kind of thing.
Yeah, so he also wrote Woman in the Dunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like one of his most famous ones.
Yeah, it's probably say it is his most famous.
Yeah.
One. But Secret Rendezvous was the last one I wrote, or read. It was really good.
And
I liked what I read. I mean, I've only read the Kangaroo Notebook, I believe. Yeah, that was good.
That's the one with the detective, right?
It's been so long, I don't even
remember. Who is the guy who wrote Confessions of a Mask and Silent Snow? Or
I think I know what you're talking about.
That committed harakiri.
Oh yeah, it's one of Ben's dudes.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Never heard of him.
Well. Yeah, boys, I really screwed the pooch. I'm sorry.
You screwed the Secret Rendezvous. All right.
I guess I'm not. I guess I shouldn't take any drugs that calm me down, but only ones that amp me up.
Yeah, you should take.
Or you should be completely sober.
Fuck
Stone
that.
Cold sober.
Fuck that.
Get some cocaine.
Yeah. You got any?
No.
Suck your dick, man.
Did you ever do heroin other than the one time?
Yes, I found it in the Hardee's parking lot in an abandoned baggie.
Why on earth would you do drugs you found in an abandoned baggie?
Because I wasn't going to let him go to waste. I didn't let him go to. I wasn't going to let him go to waste. I didn't know what it was. See, so I had to test it out. I didn't snort it. I didn't inject it. I just put it on, in my mouth.
On bread.
And I proceeded to like.
That's how Jeremy got herpes.
I mean, and it's like closed eye visuals. I mean, I was like, it was good. It was euphoric. Yes.
I mean, that's really one of the dumbest stories I've ever heard. Really.
Well,
probably not your proudest moment.
I was at work at the same time, so there's.
Well, you're just adding to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Full of dumb stories. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm full of dumb stories tonight.
But the first time you injected it between your toes, didn't you?
No, I never injected it.
He actually has a tongue between his toes.
Oh.
What do you mean? Like it's part of his body?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Like a Cronenberg kind of thing. He's got a tongue
kind
sticking out
of
of.
It's not really a tongue. It's more of like.
It's like the texture of a tongue.
No, it's like a floating taste bud. It's a taste bud that shouldn't be there, yet it is.
Oh my god! So you're constantly tasting your own fucking sweaty socks. Jesus, ugh.
That's gross.
It is gross.
Jeremy,
He's confided
What
that
if,
to me in person.
you should get.
what has not been done
help.
in body horror?
I don't know. You tell me. I'm sitting here buying and downloading books. Over here, Jeremy.
I've read some of the greatest books ever this year, and I'm can only do them a disservice by talking about them right now. It's a real.
So,
I'll have to actually do some show prep.
well,
next
maybe
week on
let's
this.
go to a more fundamental. What do you look for in a book that makes it good?
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Now I
Jeremy.
can't answer that.
Come on, Jeremy.
Okay.
You can't even talk.
One's where the main character immerses himself in it. He's not in where the main character is not an everyman or just some Joe Schmo, or a Big Lebowski, but a guy who is emphatically immersed in something, consumed by some sort of hobby or trade or fascination.
So an autistic person.
Or someone with a passion?
Yes. And also
Or autism?
where characters are constantly taking initiative to one up each other. Like I see. I used to tell Phoenix used to kind of
Who's Phoenix?
get me to ruminate on another like on again off again co-host on the old version of this show. His name, he goes by Phoenix Rising.
Okay.
Good writer, bit long-winded, bit wordy, but talented. And what I used to tell him is that it was always good to have a plot where people were constantly active and taking initiative and having plots within plots against each other. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I look for. But also, even though I don't follow my own advice here, I like stories that feel like the writer has actually, you know, uh, gone through several drafts and really explored it from every angle. Um,
How do you
because
read that in a work? How do you tell when someone's really
you
like?
can kind of tell by the quality, by how full the writing is. Um, and also if the language kind of sings, if it has a musical quality to the prose, or if it's just, uh, it's very barren and mundane. Like, he walked, to the subway station. There's no romance. There's no joie de vivre
No,
in
purple
such
prose, rather.
purple prose. Exactly. But one does not have to write purple prose in order to get me. It's just, it needs to feel, for it to be 5 stars to me, it needs to feel like it's got some polish to it. I'm very careful about what I give 5 stars to.
Hey, you give Indie Rock Cabin 5 stars.
I did. And it was a complete freak accident on your part to have actually written something 5-star, but you did it. No, I'm sorry, I'm just joking. No, but it really was good. Yeah, and you even came up with a little niche buzz term for indie rock cabin, cozy core, right?
I guess that could have been really my first foray into the cozy. I wasn't really thinking of it as that when I wrote it, but yeah, I kind of see that.
Why do you take your books out of print? I still don't understand. Have you ever heard of someone publishing a book and then immediately taking it out of print like 3 weeks later and then republishing it again like a few months later? Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of an author doing that? No.
You have now.
Happen. It doesn't happen until this guy shows up. And I don't understand.
Are you like re-editing it, or are you like changing it any at all, or is it just like maybe you re-releasing it to try and bring it back up, like try and increase its engagement, or is it just?
I'm really very particular about the message in the book, and Indie Rock Cabin, I felt that it came from too negative of a spot, and so I don't think I particularly did the story justice. I'm eventually going to go back to one of the characters which I went back to before Uncle Dean, which I know Jeremy enjoyed that character. So it's more of a thing. I'm gonna kind of remake it, but the other books, because I took out like I can't even remember how many books I've taken out of print, but that was where like when I became a Christian, and then like I'm looking back at like my past works, and they're like super gory and degenerate and full of sex and stuff. So I took those out of print. That's not really the case with Indie Rock Cabin. It was more.
Well, God has his own book. I mean, and you can never surpass, or
Oh yeah, that's true.
his supremacy. So, I mean, you should have your own sandbox to play in however you see fit. That's the way. And you're jerking your own audience around by publishing and unpublishing all the time. I mean,
yeah. So this one probably won't come back into print. I'm kind of keeping it now since
I don't see why not. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
see. I mean, I think you should have this one in print, and the dinosaurs and potted plants. I don't see why you wouldn't have those. I mean, I don't see anything
I
wrong
took
with
dinosaurs
those.
and potted plants out because like I felt like I edited and edited that book so many times, and it just was not. There's just something about it. Like I wasn't happy with the end result.
I wasn't happy with it that one either. But
Oh, I like that one.
I mean, I just went through it like
that would have been cool.
I
I would have loved to see I would have loved to see the publisher illustration, but to accompany that name, Lava Lamp Dog.
Oh, dude, I used to have it. It's actually it would still be in.
I never got to see it.
Yeah. Hey, look up my new. See if my new book's up there yet. Type in Protestant folk peasant in the search.
Yeah, and that's an impossible to remember name. It's ridiculous.
I like it. I mean, it's my Twitter handle, so or not my handle.
Is it a name or a title?
He's using it as an author identification. Look, Protestant folk, and he's not even in the result.
Stands out.
Apparently not. No,
I'd never confuse you for anyone else.
Well, yeah.
But no, yeah, Amazon's or Goodreads isn't putting them up there. I don't know what the deal is.
They must think that you're defrauding readers, just like they did Planet Bizarro.
Yeah, probably.
I think you're one of those AI generated books where it's just nonsense.
Well, I'm kind of worried because I put fall tinted dorsal fin out under the Protestant folk peasant thing, and all I did was have a dude like take the cover, take my name off of it, and then put my new pen name where the other one was. And so it's literally exactly the same. So I'm hoping they don't like flag me or something like that, but hopefully they won't.
No, I mean they did to several, like that Matt Clark guy who wrote "Life Was Easy Before You Became a Giant Fucking Menace" or whatever it was.
So like they literally took his did they delete his whole account?
Yeah, and then I think they recovered it for him when they found out that they made the error. Yeah, see, Amazon is too big to fail, I guess, and so they can make a mistake like that, and it won't affect them, but it'll affect someone who still has to eat.
Yeah. Well, granted, I don't think anyone's really making money off books these days. Like, didn't he say he had like $400 and
it's pretty sad too that
transit is like, oh, $400. Like, yeah, I can go buy. I mean, heck, what can you buy?
It's pretty sad that most authors are not making bank. Yeah, but I guess in a way maybe that's how it's always been. Is that authors don't always, Stephen King is an anomaly. Yeah, starving artist. Stephen King is an anomaly. He's not. He's the exception, not the rule.
I don't like Stephen King.
Sylvia or Emily Dickinson, her poetry was not published in her lifetime. It only became enjoyable posthumously.
Well, going back like Kafka, he wanted all his works destroyed.
And imagine if he had, if the guy who was the executor of his estate had gone through with his wishes, instead of showing it to someone.
Imagine there could have been other authors we'll have never heard about because of just that same situation.
Yeah, should he have complied with Kafka's wishes, or did he do the right thing? That's the question.
I mean, I don't know if that's a question we can really answer. I mean, on the one hand, they were Kafka's works. It was his to decide whether they'd be destroyed or not. But was he in his right mind when he made that decision? Was he just in a fit of melancholia? And if he
Yeah.
knew how popular his works would become, would he feel the same way? We'll never know.
Well, think of all
Right.
the
It's very similar to the situation with you selling your collection of books.
Yeah.
How is that? What's the connection there? I don't understand.
You'll
That
look
you
upon empty shelves and only feel regret.
Yes.
Oh no, I'll just buy new books that I haven't read. That's all.
Well, he has a point because the thing is, like, I have a ton of books that I have read, and they just sit there. It's like I don't go back and reread what I've already read. Some people do that, and I might do that for the Lord of the Rings eventually. Maybe Lord of the Rings and Moby Dick, like that. Those might be the two exceptions.
Well, look
In
at the
addition to the
dusty
Bible, of
bookshelf.
course.
It's a monument to your memories.
Yeah.
You look at that book and you remember the story and how you felt when you read it.
Yeah.
You saw my Kindle collection though, like how immense it is.
Yeah.
It's not the same as touching a book.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to me, it's more convenient to, have something with a digital,
You're just bullshitting yourself, Jeremy.
Well, we
No.
got to talk about how you
That's the
read.
drugs
because
talking, buddy.
how
you said you read all these books, but you
Yeah.
don't read them on like a Kindle device. You sit in your chair, like where you are now, and read them on your computer. Is that
No, when
true?
I'm on break at work or waiting in the lobby somewhere or at a restaurant, I do read on my Kindle. But yeah, I like reading on my desktop, more than anything. Yeah.
That's
I do
disgusting.
not understand. Yeah, how do you do
Why?
that?
Why is that disgusting?
I just don't see how you
I
can enjoy it.
I never graduated to the smartphone thing. I think I hate smartphones.
What about like
No,
an actual
I'm not
book?
saying smart. I'm saying like sitting in like a recliner and
Yeah.
With a
stretching out and
dog-eared
reading.
paperback.
Yeah. Or
Uh,
just
That's cozy core.
like in a
Yeah, getting cranking a fire
recliner
up.
or something, you know?
I don't have a fireplace, but I mean, I prefer my computer chair to a recliner.
Going out into the park in the fresh air with a paperback in your hand.
Yeah.
Now
Why'd you
that
do that,
I do
Jeremy?
not do. Reading outside sucks. It hurts my eyes.
Yeah, you should take a book down to Pickle Park one time, Jeremy, and just sit out there and,
I don't
read it.
I don't get any satisfaction from the park.
How do you not get satisfaction from a park? It's like birds and stuff.
Yeah, what are you doing, Jeremy?
You like
What's
Herzog, where you find nature disgusting and pornographic.
Jeremy, why
What?
did you leave the house?
I spend more time outside of the house than in now. Are you kidding me? I love any afternoon that I can actually hang out here at the house now. Because
You're not outside in the actual air, though, right?
Yes,
You're
I
just,
am. Yes.
what are you doing out there,
It's called
Jeremy?
work. It's a thing called work. And then when I get
You work at Hardee's.
so
Yeah.
what?
That's not
But
out
you're
in the
not.
actual
That's not
air.
open air.
Yes, it is because the window's always
No,
open.
it's
What are you talking about?
Talking crazy talk.
I'm in between, and my body temperature is always schizophrenic because it's half in and half out. What are you even talking about? You guys don't even know what you're talking
You
about.
need to go to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
I don't have time, money, or an interest to.
Jeremy,
don't
can I
like
write a
looking
book
at
from your
trees.
perspective?
No. I go to work. I go to my girlfriend's, and I come home and what? I mean, what else? Why?
Can I write a book from your perspective?
Okay, but you don't know what my perspective is. You just
Yeah, I can
We
just
know
make
what
it
your
up.
physical perspective
it'll
is.
be a pastiche of me. It won't be the real.
Yeah, it won't be any
Caricature.
way. Yeah, it'll be a caricature of like
minstrel
that one
show.
story I wrote from your perspective, where you're working at Hardee's, looking at this coworker's butt.
I told you to write me into Hanover Block, and then you've had a block ever since.
Yeah, that might have been it. Yeah. No, but you're not. I will write you into a story though, not into the Hanover
But
Block
I
stuff.
wanted to be in Hanover Block though.
Well, maybe you can be in.
He
I
is
thought
the
I was
author.
good.
You do not get
You
to
can be
make
loving the goat
demands.
too.
And I thought that those fleshy protuberance things, those aliens or whatever, I thought one of them was going to face hit me to death. You promised.
It was going to do what? Oh, face sit you to death?
Yes.
Well, the mounds would be able to do that.
That's what I mean. The mounts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, maybe
Pretty
I'll
sure
make a Christmas special and have you in it.
that-
Are you like Dante, where you write in all your enemies getting tortured and mutilated in your
No.
books?
I don't believe in that personally. I wouldn't do it.
what is the holdup with this the bookend of this series?
This has got to be good, right?
Good point.
You know, I'm working on it. It's just got to be good. Hopefully, it's good. I don't know if it will be. I'm trying to make it good. But no, the bulk of it has been written now. I just got to do some little editing, and then I'll be done. So it's not too far off. But
Gosh,
I'm
I'm seeing all
slow
these
editor.
seeing all these people who like all the book review people.
Yeah.
I remember just how like lame that scene was.
You're not wrong. They're very self-aggrandizing and very thin-skinned when it comes to constructive or unconstructive criticism. And they believe that because they're all authors, that they should have each other's backs, and not even necessarily finish reading a book, but just hurry to give it 5 stars, when they're halfway through, and write a blurb worthy, review. Yeah, it's sickening to see authors support
Well,
each other.
it's like networking, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you give me 5 stars, I give you 5 stars. We both go up a little further on the rankings, and we sell more books.
But you will end up.
That's what they think that's what they think's happening. But I don't think that really has any effect.
So unhappy the longer you toe that line with these people, instead of giving your God honest opinion, whether you liked it, disliked it, exactly what you didn't like, or exactly what you did. If you play, the longer you play the networking game, the more resentful you will be of all of them. I know from experience. Yeah. So.
Jeremy, I give you 5 stars.
I gave him 1 star.
I kind of feel like listen, we have 0 viewers left, and it's definitely no one else's fault but mine, because
you had 0 viewers before, man. Like, didn't you buy a lot of viewers from India at one point?
Yeah, at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you really like put into marketing and advertising this and hyping it up, you could probably get concurrent viewers. But
yeah,
the problem is
2 concurrent viewers.
Well, they kind of did that, but it becomes really lame when you're like in this scene where it's like, okay, we're gonna be this like jump start for people to sell their books, and then it just gets like all the politics of like a scene start to play out,
and then before you know it, you're walking on eggshells, afraid to upset anyone, afraid to take a polarized, a counter stance on anything. And there's nothing worse than a community full of people who all have the same viewpoint, because you know that some people are just too chicken shit to say otherwise.
Then just embrace the gonzo part of it. You want 0 viewers. You want this to be the thing that no one watches.
I thought that's what I was doing.
That is what he's doing.
I didn't know if it was an intentional or not.
Can't we be somewhere in between?
It's just terrible.
But we've been.
You did pitch this to me as the worst podcast ever created, so
yeah.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
I'm glad I could really contribute.
We interviewed Bruce Cavill on this show once. Okay, we got Bruce Cavill to come on.
Who?
Bruce.
Who?
You know who? Bruce Cavill.
Who's Bruce
I don't
Cavill?
know who.
He knows who Bruce Cavill is.
I know who Bruce Cavill is.
Yes.
Who's Bruce Cavill?
Some gay dude.
He could be.
Never
But who is he?
Never mind the Lutheran. All right, anyway.
He's the guy who did like the My Teacher is an Alien series.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Which, for a young adult series was pretty good.
Wes, is that like a legitimate like Scholastic book, or does it make you look like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's legit. Like he was like, one of those people that came on here and regretted it.
Oh gosh.
Why would he regret it? I
He
treat
probably isn't. He's probably in the Chet Williamson club.
I did treat him like royalty though, because I mean like
Edward Packard was on here too. That was
the choose your own adventure
yeah,
guy,
Yeah.
the first one, yeah.
that was good.
We had Bill Laswell.
I feel sorry for people that are normal they come on here and they don't know. I mean, really,
Thin
poor
skinned,
poor Chet.
now.
he followed a video of a woman throwing poop.
Let's watch that again. What do you say?
No, God.
No.
We don't need to watch that again.
I'm gonna close out with this scene of
Maybe you
that.
could do a mashup between that video and that dude walking
We're gonna
around
do
with
a
his shirt
drinking
off.
game at one point, or did that just completely, like everything, get sort of lost in the?
I brought it up.
Everything is lost.
I would be
in
up
the
for it.
Maybe for next time.
Okay.
Maybe you
Yeah.
can,
I
like,
think-
you know,
I think
do
I
an
think I
outline.
should probably close us out before we get in like -0 people here or something.
-0 people.
Yeah, that's
Meaning
how
that
that's how
something
dead my
happens and we
mind
all
is.
just die.
You know what? Maybe I just worked too hard this week. I worked too many hours.
Yeah, I
this
bet
week.
that's what
why.
it is.
That's
But
why.
you just work too hard.
Yeah, that's why I'm not as ambitious or
The workaday grind just sapped all your creativity out.
yeah.
Hey, since you're
think
working so much, get me some free Hardee's.
So
If he goes to your place, can he get some?
Yeah. Can I have a free burger or something?
anybody who
He'll give you some heroin from the dumpster out back.
Really? Okay. So anyone who's still watching this or plays it back later, I promise to bring, engaging content
Do
next
we
week.
ever have engaging content?
We do, yes.
Every once in a while, it's an accident,
A
but it does
diamond in
happen.
the rough.
Yeah,
Like the multiverse, the original multiverse. That's the only time.
accidental. There's accidental moments.
That was
few
a
and far
legitimately trippy time when that happened.
Yeah, that was.
Should we try to replicate that again?
Never.
I don't think it's going to happen. I really
You
don't.
can never go home. You can never go home.
Can never go home.
I don't know. I think we should try the multiverse one more time.
Oh no.
Wait, okay. I think there should be some kind of combination of multiverse and drinking game.
That would be dangerous.
No.
What am I going to drink though?
You said you're drinking tequila.
Well, no. I mean, that's not really smart for a drinking game.
I do despise tequila.
Really?
It's something about it. I don't know what it is. I can't handle it.
It's good.
I'm more of a bourbon dude.
I mean, I like bourbon more, but I do like tequila. And I like vodka. And I like gin.
I like
really
the vodka.
only like rum. I'm only a
Whoa.
rum
Okay.
drinker, really.
There's something down there at the bottom that says initiating multiverse mode.
Yes.
Rum.
Yeah.
I'll drink rum, but I don't, I don't like spiced rum.
Well,
I can
we had
do
some
either
good,
one.
We had some good rum one time from the Cayman Islands. I'm trying to forget what it was called because we actually
You're
got
trying
it.
to forget what it was called?
Or no, I have forgotten what it's called. We actually got it at the Cayman Islands. What was it?
The coconut rum is probably my favorite, though.
I don't think I'd like that. It seems like
Probably
it's
not.
too sweet. Is it sweet?
Oh yeah, it's sweet. I mean, all rums are going to have a little bit of sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Now, some of the best liquor I've ever had, or not really the best, but that time that I had last time that my friend who's doing that new podcast with me that I talked about at the beginning.
Right.
He
The
gave me
honkin'
two-
chocolate fun.
He made 2 bottles of homemade cicer, and that was some of the best stuff ever.
I'd give that a whirl.
Thrill is the Alfred plea a guilty plea?
The
Oh my
West
God,
Memphis
I'm
3 are
hanging up.
guilty. You know it. Everyone knows it.
Oh,
Yes.
No
Alfred
comment.
plea. No, don't comment. The Alfred plea is saying, look, I'm entering I'm entering an Alfred plea because you've clearly got enough, evidence to say that I did it, but I'm still maintaining my innocence, even though this is a plea.
Or like a
And
no contest kind of thing.
that kind of thing, because the system is bigger than you, and you take it, and the Alfred plea, the circumstances have to be so rare anyway. I mean,
I don't care about Alfred, and I don't care about pleas. They were guilty.
You don't know that.
I
You just say that because
beyond a reasonable doubt, I am convinced they are guilty.
You're just because of religious dogma that you say that. That's the only
That
reason.
doesn't have anything to do with
And
religious
William
dogma.
Ramsey was talked so monotone that he was like a sociopath. He reminded me of sociopathic monotone.
Okay, so have you seen the Paradise Lost documentaries?
Of course, I'm sure he has.
No, have you?
Yeah, all three.
And did you read William Ramsey's book?
I tried.
Go back and read his book. It will open your eyes.
I didn't find it that compelling. It just read like,
Well, okay, I will say this.
Hearsay from like local around town folks who, blamed it on 7 other people besides them, depending on the time and temperature of the day.
No, it's mostly stuff directly from the trial. And the only fault I have for it is that he didn't give enough of his own opinion. It was just the sources. It was one of those nonfiction books where it was just not enough author writing, more just like a compiling of sources.
It's a horrible take.
I mean, really, none of us were party to the trial.
Exactly.
So, I mean, we're all just kind of riffing off what's been released. So,
what do you think?
What do I think?
Yes.
I don't think they did it. I think.
What do you think, Gregor?
I think the forensic evidence exonerated them.
I think that guy that was at that fast food restaurant did it.
Mr. Bojangles.
Mr. Bojangles, yeah.
I thought that for a long time, yeah. The problem is that the law enforcement, they were such Mayberry, Barney Fifes that they lost the DNA left behind by Mr. Bojangles. What self-respecting law enforcement officer does that, or forensic pathologist or whatever?
Corrupt ones.
I mean, why attribute malice where you can just attribute laziness or stupidity?
Mm-hmm.
They're probably corrupt.
I think they did it.
I think it was Bojangles.
Due to sloppy police work, well, I guess we'll never know.
Well, they were released. After they did their Alford plea, they were given time served. So,
yeah.
The thing is, that could only happen after like millions and millions of dollars were poured in from like evil Hollywood people that rolled into town.
Evil Hollywood. Would you listen?
Hollywood is evil. Hollywood should be
to yourself. I mean, a lot of them are, but I mean, just because someone helps out someone they believe to be innocent, that doesn't make them evil. Their own actions.
They wanted to push
their own
psychological programming. They want to be like, okay, yeah, it's normal to be a freaking crazy.
The money just went to their defense, right? It wasn't like any kind of like propaganda, just to their appellate process, which everyone gets. They would have got it anyway, even if they didn't get the money. It would just been through like a public defender. But that way,
well, it also like massive manipulation of public opinion.
But I mean, the public doesn't rule on appellate cases. Appellate judges do.
Nah, I don't know. I mean, they come in millions of dollars, then all of a sudden guys who are free get out. I mean, I don't know much about law, but it just, looking at it from a bird's eye view, I don't believe
a bird's eye view. You could say, well, they brought attention to the case, which led to this misconduct that otherwise would have never been found out because it just would have got lost in the system being uncovered.
Yeah, but we get back into specifically the retarded one. He literally, what did he do? Did he actually admit? I'm pretty sure he admitted to doing
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse.
Jesse.
Yeah, because he kept giving like contradictory stories,
Right.
and then he picked the
So-
final one and
They
stuck
didn't-
to
So
it.
you understand that during interrogation, that's multiple hours where you're isolated, where you're forced to be told this while the police are coaching you on what to say.
Mm.
Oftentimes to convict yourself. There has been numerous cases that have been thrown out because of coerced or faulty confessions. A confession on its own is utterly meaningless. It depends on how
I
it was
don't know. I think
obtained.
that's cope right there. A confession on its own is meaningless. That's just getting around.
Okay,
like,
if I put you in a room for 10 hours and say you're not getting out here till you confess to this murder.
I'm just gonna say screw you and not confess. I mean, I'm not saying someone
Yeah.
with a lower IQ like Shiad. I mean, he's
Right.
basically well. See, that's another thing. They think that he lied about being low IQ. That one was interesting. But basically, he goes from talking like a complete crazy person to all of a sudden he's eloquent towards the end, and he like cuts the charades. But again, though, just look at Damien Eccles. It's like he's put on trial for doing or basically sacrificing 3 kids to Satan, and then when he gets out of prison, he immediately just goes into like the occult. It's like his number one thing. That's like he becomes a freaking male witch.
No, that's true.
I mean, Wicca and Satanism are 2 entirely different things, right? I mean, we
But they're
understand.
both demonic, and everyone who practices them will be in hell for eternity.
No, but he's not really like a Wiccan kind of dude. Like he's kind of pretty much like pretty overtly like Luciferian.
Well, I mean, even then, there's like so many different strains and branches of that. Are you talking like,
I mean, it's
Aleister
all it comes
Crowley?
from the same root. It's all
No,
demonic.
I mean, like the Church of Satan, as it stands, is actually an agnostic organization that's entirely devoid of spiritualism. It's just
Called the
essentially,
Church of Satan.
yeah, because they use him as a sort of a model of a rebellious figure because
Yeah, it's
they don't believe
demonic
any,
on its face.
because they
Kinda
don't believe
like-
any kind of religious dogma behind it. I mean,
Kind of like how
it'd
you
be like
roll.
calling yourself like the Church of Apollo, because hey, you think Apollo's a strong, virile sun kind of thing. It's not because you actually believe that Apollo exists and he rides a chariot that pulls the sun across the sky.
Yeah, I mean,
don't think
there
that's
is
really
there
applicable to
definitely
the
is a
Church of
strain,
Satan.
or there is, I mean, what you're saying is true, but it doesn't mean that there's not people that don't take it seriously.
I mean, there's
Yeah, I mean, it's
people
like
that believe all
anyone
kinds
who's
of
going to
stuff.
be associated with it.
Right?
on
Yeah,
the
yeah. So I'm
face
just saying, like what he said was true, and that he was accused of doing some kind of satanic ritualistic murder, right? And he comes out of prison and capitalizes on that image. Now, does that mean that he did a murder? I don't know, but
I heard that those books were like unreadable, horrible grammar too. Not that has anything to do with his innocence or guilt.
right. Yeah, I
heard
mean, I
the
haven't read the books.
were just
I mean, I've looked them
horrible
up, but I haven't read
read.
them.
Yeah. Law enforcement did more than enough to overturn their own case with how quick they with how they coached the guy who was in juvenile detention with Damien. Losing
he was suspicious. I'll give you that.
losing
that guy.
DNA from other possible suspects.
Yeah.
You guys
I mean-
love this topic, though. I mean, you guys go on
I
and on.
I
and
have not
on
thought about this
topic.
topic until literally
just
the
wanted to
last
get-
time we had a stream on.
I
it.
wanted to get Thrillamanjaro's take on the
There's
Alfred
like
Plea
15 episodes where you guys talk about this.
because him and Strange are insistent that an Alfred plea is a guilty plea, but
Oh my God.
they plead.
I don't care about the
Let
Alfred
it
plea.
go. Let it go.
I never cared about the Alfred plea.
Oh, let it go.
I mean, I know what they say it means. They say it means that they're going to let them give the conviction, and they're going to be like, "Oh, we're still innocent." Like, yeah, whatever. That's irrelevant.
Let it go. Let it go. The
Yeah,
cold never
seriously,
bothered
let it
me
go.
anyway.
This topic could just never be talked about again. It'd be great.
Well, yeah, but I
It would be
wanted,
great.
I wanted to get his hot take on it.
I mean, why?
I don't know, but
Why?
I know one thing that I think we can put this stream out of its misery. I'm sorry, Thrill. Usually we get a better
Thrill is the most
literary-
thrilling part about it, really.
I know that's right. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
what does your profile picture say? The
It
words.
says, don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for next products.
So you
Oh,
were watching
yeah.
the last stream where we made fun of Jeremy with the Spider-Man thing.
I was.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeremy, you really love that.
You tell me you didn't mark out for that at all. Seeing
Mark
3
out.
Spider-Men in one movie.
Oh wait, no, Gregor actually he'd left by that time we got.
No,
to
I'm
that
talking to
part.
Thrill.
I mean, no.
You didn't watch it? You didn't watch No Way Home?
Yeah, I watched No Way Home, but it was like, oh, okay.
You weren't like marking out and like amped up saying, dude, it's the Amazing Spider-Man. And he's in the MCU. And there's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
I say I'd only ever watched the Raimi Spider-Mans and then the Tom Holland Spider-Man. So, okay, it was nice to see those two in it, but it wasn't like, wow, great.
So the only thing that would make me geek out is if they take like, okay, they're going to be like, okay, we're going to do an actual Spider-Man 4 in the the Raimi universe, since we've like already established that they coexist with each other.
I don't know. I think maybe it's
and
time.
If they did that and have Carnage in it, then I would watch it.
Carnage has already been in the movies.
Yeah, but they could have him in another one.
Maybe Sam Raimi was put out to pasture. I saw the what was it? The Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just I was not impressed, and I think a lot of it had to do with sort of the Raimi cam and sort of the Raimi tropes just don't really hit like they used to. And I mean, even seeing Bruce Campbell cameo, that was nice, but it's kind of like, okay, we've been down this road. I know who you are, Sam Raimi. I've seen all your stuff. I don't need it anymore. Maybe it's time to grow up.
How about Evil Dead Rise? You're not excited about that?
No.
I mean,
not in the slightest.
Boo. Boo, I say.
I didn't really like that Evil Dead TV show. I watched it all, but I didn't really like it.
I thought it was great at first, until season 3 when Ash suddenly was like a pop culture figure.
Yeah, that was stupid. That
didn't
that
make a lot of
season
sense, in the canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch season 3.
I'm guessing most of us have to work tomorrow, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have to work.
Yes,
so
Jeremy.
I should probably.
You don't have to work tomorrow, though, do you, Jeremy?
No.
I didn't think.
No, that's tomorrow's my one day off of the week, and I've got books to ship at the post office to people who helped me eat another day. Yes.
They're taking advantage of a dude with special needs and just.
Okay. Well,
okay, we should go to the multiverse. You put that down there, and you can't like cop out. You've got to do it.
All right, let's go to the multiverse.
Did you think about maybe going to like Mr. K's or something and just selling like the ones that aren't going to move otherwise?
Mr. K's rules.
I could do it. I could stretch it out over a longer period of time by doing it this way on eBay and through PayPal, though, right?
Sell it to that dude in that one in Kingsport.
They would lowball me on cash at Mr. K's, and they would insist on credit, and I don't want book credit for these. I want money for these. You
want money in hand.
Yeah. So here we go. An oldie but a goodie. It's a timeless classic. This is Streamception, Lost in the Multiverse. I don't remember.
Hey, I remember this.
It degenerates into this, whatever this is.
Yeah.
Jeremy, click on the Quiet Place.
What the heck?
Oh,
no,
that show is horrible.
My haircut was really bad right there.
Yeah. This is called Stream like Inception.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let any of you guys watch that show.
Wait a minute.
Screen share.
I'd turn it
I didn't
off.
like having bangs, to be honest. I mean,
doing
bangs are kind of bad. They tickle my forehead.
Is that what's going on right now?
I think so.
Is Jared Barbie on here right now?
Terrible.
What else have you had on this show?
The link that Jeremy put in the private, or that Zach put in the private chat.
Oh, thank you, Ben, from a few
This is
minutes
Doctor,
ago.
what do you say, Jeremy?
Wait, who's still here?
Willing
Is it
to
Gregor?
testify.
This is
Yeah.
Her name's Judy,
There you are.
Dr. Judy Mikovits, and
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one.
Oh,
From
yeah.
that, she's the one from that documentary that keeps getting.
Who's that faggot?
Whoa!
and now I don't know who's
This is
the
awesome.
real Ben and who's the real Strange. I wonder
I
who's
like that dollar.
How long does this go
Who's the
on?
one person
Oh.
watching this right now?
I bet she would, Jeremy.
who's the real Gregor.
Oh,
Tom?
she's real.
Who's the real Gregor?
I don't know.
I said she's probably getting a ton of.
She's not even here.
Yeah.
How is
Yeah,
Gregor
Jeremy,
here
you
and
can
not
do
here at the same
Yeah.
Oh,
time?
he's right there.
Yeah, you just
I'm gonna have a panic attack.
Schrodinger's Gregor.
yes. Please turn this off.
Yeah. It's not the worst thing ever.
Which one's having a panic attack?
Stop it.
Strange is.
Is it Strange in the present or past that's having the panic attack?
It's both.
How many of these have you nested now?
Stop it. I demand you stop. I command you to.
Is it past Ben? Is it past tense Ben that's commanding it or present?
Both. And future tense is commanding you as well.
Whoa.
Okay, let's see what
Go
this
to
is.
the link that Zach put in the private chat.
Sorry. Where's the link at?
Because the other one you said Jeremy and then Zach.
Wait, which Zach is saying
Where's the
that?
link?
I think it was me.
Big fucking dick.
Yeah. That's what. That's what.
No, the link that Jeremy put in that Zach put in the private chat.
Anywhere else. You want me to play that? I love the fact that I went grocery shopping early this morning and I came
What'd
back
you
with
get?
my door unlocked. Everything was as I left it. Everything was
Yeah.
as I left it.
I
Exactly.
remember that part.
Turn this off.
Mine stayed alive.
And I was on
Out of your cupboard right now.
Yeah,
know,
Ben's
right?
on the show.
When he comes back to his,
Man, that guy's a hack.
So this is the real us, right?
Yeah, Zach's here.
Yeah. Yes. That's legit. Yeah.
It's strange. Take your shoes off.
We're present.
No, I haven't said anything.
And future tense is commanding you as well.
He's not even here.
You want me to go to the link that Zach's put in the chat?
Hey, that's the link that Zach put in the private chat.
I'm seriously gonna freak out.
When did Kevin come on?
So you want me to go to the link in the chat, right?
Yeah, yeah, go right there.
But Jeremy's
I'll go Oh, okay, I'll go to the link in the private chat,
Yeah,
right?
go to the link in the private chat.
Okay. Everything is as I left it.
Yeah.
And everything was as I left it, exactly.
It's amazing you can keep your house open like that.
Who wants me to turn it off? Past tense, spin, or present?
I don't think you need to turn it off.
Turn what
Right.
off?
This could go on forever.
It really should.
Look, this is like so this is the real us, right? No, this is the real us.
Actually, I'm the
No, this is the real
real.
us.
This,
Wait,
Okay, this is like in a carefully laid track.
There's like the chicken strap.
What is that sound?
welcome to eternity, people.
Oh, you want me to go to the link in the chat, right?
Yeah, go to the link in
Go
the
right
chat.
there.
This is insufferable.
I'm seriously gonna.
Oh, I hate
Y'all
that
hear
guy.
that?
Me too. All that
What is that?
Oh, that was.
Yeah, this is
Where is Gregor not here anymore?
the
I think
ultra
that's-
low frequency beam going right into our minds. It's gonna
Yeah.
blow our heads up like the guy from Scanners.
Okay. Yeah, I think. All right, let's flush this shit show now. Thanks, Thrill. Love to have you back when I have more energy. Like I said, next weekend. Let's hope
It's
for
a
a better
great
show
time.
overall. I'll actually do show prep next weekend, and it'll be better for everybody. Trust me. But you know what? You are one of the best, one of the highlights of this. It was. I'm glad that I can finally was able to show everyone that that the whole
that whole episode from our childhood
Right.
actually did happen, and you were the mastermind. And
Well, you paid me well to say it all happened. So
mm,